Good morning. Please, or public official accountability expert, something along those lines, is the username. Left a comment. Tried too hard to be smart. It never works. If you're trying to qualify your questions too much, typically you'll end up screwing it up. So the question was something, and I'm loosely paraphrasing as, why do you appear to have a problem with people who are sick of being financially assaulted and harassed, i.e., fined and detained, for offenses that lack a physical victim or property damage? And that's a lot to unpack. I responded about the physical victim, that there's always a physical victim for any offense, but he didn't like that answer. So I'll open it up to the class. First of all, let's just get rid of the why do you appear to have a problem with. I don't have a problem with people who don't like traffic tickets. You're not supposed to like traffic tickets. You're supposed to be sick of them. That's the point of them. They're a punishment for committing an offense. The point of the punishment is to deter you from committing the offense in the future. i.e., if every time you stick your fingers in the cookie jar, your mom whacks your fingers with a ruler, she is hoping that you associate the pain in your knuckles with the cookie jar so you don't go in there. Somebody should have been rapping Damon Jones's knuckles a lot harder. Anyway, let's talk about physical victims. I don't know entirely exactly what he was going for there. Maybe he meant physical injury to a victim. Who knows? But let's talk about physical victims. Well, first of all, let's set the stage slightly. I believe he's talking about either having a valid driver's license or traffic tickets, because this was on a video where I was laughing at Freeman for calling in to chastise operators about his traffic tickets and his subsequent failure to appear arrest warrant. Huh. So everybody speeds, right? We all know it. You know it. I know it. Everybody speeds. And it's generally not a big deal as long as you're not drawing attention to yourself. I have sped alongside of cops many times who didn't give two shits that I was speeding because, well, why would they? Everybody does it. If the speed limit is 65, you can expect traffic to be moving between 70 to 75 miles an hour unless there's rush hour. That's the nature of the beast. And when the speed limit moved up to 70, you could expect everybody to be going 75 to 80 miles an hour. That's the nature of the beast. Everybody always tends to speed 5 to 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. So setting a speed limit ends up kind of de facto setting the actual speed of the traffic on that particular stretch of road. The reason why we have speed limits, because there was a time before we had speed limits. The reason why we had speed limits is because accidents are expensive for the government. And the government is, of course, fully funded by the people. The government is there to provide us with services. In so doing, they incur expenses. And the people who are the citizens, residents of that particular government pay those costs. And so when there is an accident, fire department rolls out, the cops roll out, somebody has to roll out there to clean up that stretch of the road from all the debris and vehicle fluids. There's going to be a lawsuit. Guess what, kids? Lawsuits cost the government money. That in California, it's like a $400,000 $30 filing fee for an unlimited civil case. And that doesn't pay for the roughly 2 years of court time that it's going to take, year to 2 years of court time. It doesn't even come close to paying for that judge. A judge probably costs $435 an hour. Just the judge. That's not the court clerk, court reporter, courtroom, any of the ancillary support staff like janitors and stuff. I mean, it's expensive. And government's found through studies, there are lots of studies out there that confirm it, that speed is the leading cause of accidents. Faster you go, the more likely you are to have an accident. And so in order to minimize some of those costs, the government has imposed various speed limits, depending on where you are and the nature of the road and all the other fun sorts of things. And the people of the state agree with those. Well, you say, I never voted for it. Well, maybe. But you know what? If enough people didn't like it, we'd get it changed. If enough people didn't like speed limits, we would get them changed. But I think most rational adults know that if there were no speed limits, then people would be stupid, because people are stupid. And they wouldn't constrain themselves to 5 to 10 miles an hour over what the old speed limit was. They would just put their foot down to the floor and go. And people also aren't stupid, and they know that if there is no punishment for an offense, then there is no reason not to commit the offense. And so, again, people would just put their foot down to the floor. And there are only limited ways that the government can punish you. We have a constitution that prohibits cruel and unusual punishment. They can't just lash you for speeding. They can't kick you out of the state or the county. They can't kick you off the roads. I guess they can revoke your license if you're too bad, but that's, they can't trespass you from the roads. So they have two real choices. They can fine you or they can imprison you. Because if there is an offense, there has to be a punishment, or else people won't worry about committing the offense. And the state, the government, the county, whoever, they have limited means by which to punish you. So if you're sick of paying traffic tickets, if you're sick of getting detained, then stop speeding. That is the intended result of those particular fines. Anyway, I hope that explains it. I don't know if I answered his question because it was malformed, but I hope I did. And I hope I did it to be as polite to him as possible and with as little insulting. And saying that your question is malformed, if you want to take that as a personal insult, that's fine, you can. But that's not the way it was intended. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.